Why is everyone talking about how similar Good For You and Misery Business are? Well, they are pretty similar. I went to Isotope RX7 and I took the acapella from both of these songs and the instrumental from both these songs and combined them. So this is the instrumental of Misery Business with the acapella of Good For You. It works really well. It actually goes together quite nicely. And I can see why people can draw the similarities here. How about the instrumental of Good For You with the acapella of Misery Business? This doesn't work quite as well, but it's still close enough, I guess. But Good For You isn't the only song that really works with the instrumental of Misery Business. How about the instrumental of Misery Business with Never Getting Back Together by Taylor Swift? These two songs work extremely well together randomly. And how about the acapella of Good For You with the instrumental of Let It Go by Passenger? These also work pretty well. I mean, not quite the same vibe, but all these songs have the same chord progression, and it's a really common chord progression that's used all the time. And these are all pop songs. And the thing about pop music is it's simple. It's simple music. I think the charm with pop music is that it all sounds familiar, yet distinct. It all almost plays into a nostalgic feeling, but with a unique spin on it from each new artist that makes something. So if we can finally recognize that all pop music kind of sounds similar and is drawing from other inspirations that have already been done, we can settle these disagreements about, oh, you stole this and this is copyrighted and you're trying to sound like, it's like everyone is influenced by each other in the music world. Like we all have influences. We're all sounding like the music that we grew up listening to or the artists that we respect and admire. You can't copyright chord progressions, okay? That's not something that happens, thankfully, because there's only so many. I guess melodies can be copyrighted if they are like too similar, but even with melodies, there's only so many melodies. So eventually we're gonna run out, right? What makes a song unique is not the chord progression and it's not the melody. It's the person behind it. It's the timbre of their voice that sounds like no one else. It's the way that they're playing the music, the inflection that they put on it when they play the chords. It's the sound of that distinct guitar or that distinct plugin that they're using. That's what makes it unique. It's what each person adds to the music, not the melody, not the chord progression, not any of that. So I would say Good For You and Misery Business are really quite different songs. They're very different. They're different lyrics, they're different voices, they're just different instruments. They weren't using the same exact guitars, they weren't using the same exact amplifiers. It was mixed by a different engineer. Yes, they sound similar, but so does so much music. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. The thing is, when you find a type of music that you enjoy, you want to listen to more music like that. And that's why we enjoy finding new artists that sound like some of our favorite bands and favorite artists. I remember reading an article about what gives us that tingly sensation when we listen to music. I know some people can't experience this, but a lot of people can. And it's when we listen to something that is familiar, but then has a little spin on it that's unexpected. So I think that is the most powerful thing with music. Create something that is familiar sounding, but put your own unique spin on it. And that is, I like to listen to stuff like that. If it's too generic, it's boring. If it's too experimental, it's hard to listen to. So it's that blend of new and old together. If you really want to make completely original music that no one's ever done before, it's going to be very experimental. It's probably going to be some type of jazz or IDM music, which is okay. I think it's fun to branch out and make whatever kind of music that you like. But if you enjoy making pop music or just any of the common genres, popular genres of music, then it's probably going to sound at least a little bit like someone else. Honestly, if someone made a song that was really similar to one of my songs, I'd be like, cool, I'm glad you find inspiration in my music. And if someone wanted to completely like steal the structure of my song and make it like theirs, like as long as they put their spin on it, I'm okay with that. Just make it yours. Even songs that sound super similar to each other and people start talking about how similar they are, all it does is increase the amount of streams that both of the artists are getting anyway. So like, really, Paramore is definitely not losing out on this. With the legal case, they did decide to give Hayley Williams and Farro credits. So if you go on Spotify right now and you look at the credits, the names of these Paramore band members are on there. Even though they had nothing to do with the actual writing of the song, they put it in there. And I'm just wondering, what's that going to do in the future for songs that are similar to each other? Are we going to start seeing the writers of these songs that had nothing to do with these new songs be on there? Or maybe is Spotify going to add a new tab called Inspired By or Based Off Of, or something like that, where you put all the artists and the songs that influenced, maybe something like that? Ultimately, I don't care a whole ton. I actually love the band Paramore. It's a huge influence on me. The more recognition they get, I'm okay with that. I also don't mind Olivia Rodrigo, but clearly she was influenced by Paramore, and that really showed in her music. I just don't want to see more cases like the one with Katy Perry and Flame, this like rapper that no one knows about, and how he was suing Katy Perry because she had a little melody that was similar to his song. But she's like, no, I've never even heard your song before. What? The rapper won this like more than $2 million lawsuit because the jury was like, oh yeah, it sounds similar. But more recently, a judge overturned that and was like, yo, jury, you don't know what you're talking about. They're not similar enough. And so Katy Perry didn't have to pay this guy like $2 million, which good for her. If we're suing each other for using the same melody and the same this and the same, it's like, let's just all create music and let's give each other pieces of music and be inspired by each other and get along. Can we all get along? Musicians, producers. That's one reason why all of my music you can use right now in your YouTube video and monetize your YouTube video, and you don't have to put credit for me and you won't get a copyright strike. You can use it on Twitch. You can use it anywhere. I want to give people permission to use my music if they like it, or if it's helpful to them, or if it inspires them. I think this digital copyright stuff is getting a little bit crazy, so I just hope we can all stay level-headed with this. So what do you think? Do you think that Paramore should be credited on the credits as songwriters for Good For You? Or do you think that shouldn't have happened? Do you think Good For You really sounds that similar to Misery Business? Honestly, I didn't make the connection the first time I heard Good For You, but then when it was pointed out to me, I'm like, oh yeah, I do see the similarities. And do you think copyright laws around music should be more strict and we should be seeing cases like this, or should they be more loose and more free? And should we see more music that's very, very similar to each other? And is that okay? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and let's talk about this. I think this is an important thing to talk about in the music community because it's going to be something that we're going to be seeing more and more of. And we need to find good solutions, and we need to learn how to work together and support each other. I want to support you, and I want to make music that I enjoy making, and I hope you do too. Create every day.